Where's Ishita? Oh, sorry, I was spotting you there. Okay. Yeah, please.
Hi everyone. I'm not going to take a lot of time. Just wanted to introduce our organization, the ClimAct Initiative. We're a very new organization. Okay, I'm just going to start with how many of us here have known about climate change for over a year? Most of us. How many of us still feel confused when we come across new terminology or we come across some new information? A lot of us. So even though we're all, in the space, we know about climate change, we know about all of the issues, we still, there's a lot of confusion. It's a very intimidating space to be in. So what we work on is climate education, and climate education with a call for action, and how to basically get people to take climate action. Um, a lot of people here have spoken about, we're here at LCOY, which is mainly on climate change, but I've noticed that most of our conversations have been around issues like biodiversity, about waste segregation, about food systems, about water. And when you talk about climate change, it's not just about, what the Paris Agreement is, what our government is doing. It's about all of these issues. They're all completely interlinked. So we're working on building curriculums that just help, we work with like all sorts of age groups, but we're working on building curriculums that link all of these and bring them into uh, basically, like, we try to help people figure out how they can take climate action, because we're so disconnected, at least in cities. Do you feel like you don't really know if you want to, take action? Suppose I want to fix a road outside my house. Do you know who to go to for that? Like, do you all know who you would actually go to fix if you want to get a road fixed outside your house? Okay, yeah, that's great actually. But when I was 19, I was 20 years old, I was living in Bangalore, I had no idea. I wanted to get a pothole fixed, I had no idea. I had to figure it out all from scratch. So this information is not very easily accessible. So we're trying to, work with students and with organizations on helping people engage within their own communities. Oftentimes, even yesterday, I was talking to a lot of people, and one of the main pointers that came up is that it's easier to engage in climate change at an international level, at a global level. It's very difficult to take action within our own communities, within our own nation. So we really want to change that. Um, yeah, I will just introduce a few of the programs that we're very new. We started earlier this year. We formalized the organization earlier this year. I work with Hita, who spoke to you yesterday, and we finally got registered last year. We have two programs: the Green Warriors program and the Mind the Gap program. With the Green Warriors program, we work with younger kids. With the Mind the Gap program, we work with older kids. We do a lot of things like helping people, cope with climate anxiety. We are starting a few listening circles later this year. And with our Green Warriors program, we're working with, is Akhilesh here? Yeah, so we're working with the Bring Back Green Foundation and Y Waste in Bangalore. And we're helping students from this organization called Dream a Dream come up with actual climate solutions for problems that are faced within their own communities through a whole model of design thinking, which is you map out stakeholders for each issue that you have. I think Micah has covered a little bit of it. It's quite similar to what they do as well. The reason I'm here today is basically to ask y'all, um, and it's more of a call to action, because education is something like we're learning a lot here at LCOY, even though we've been in the space, and we know that there's a lot to learn from all of y'all, and we'd really like to collaborate with each and every one of you here and figure out how we can make climate education very, very accessible to people within your own communities. And yeah, that's a little bit. I just wanted to wrap up with that. Please do get in touch with us. We're on Instagram. We have a website. It's the ClimAct Initiative .org, and you can get in touch with us there, or you can write to us at the ClimAct Initiative at gmail.com, or get in touch with Hita or me or Aishwarya. She's also here from our organization. But yeah, that's all I just wanted to share about our organization. Thank you.
Thanks, Ishita. That was quite nice to hear about your initiative. Hi, I'm just hijacking for exactly 4 minutes because I have a very specific ask to make. So I'm from Youth for Climate India. I spoke about Youth for Climate India a little bit yesterday. And basically, we work on advocacy and climate education. For the next 3 years, we are thinking of building climate libraries in different spaces in India. We started the first one in Delhi this year. And the best part about our library is that we did it with exactly zero funds. So that was a big win for us. And now we are trying to get funding to build more climate libraries because it takes a lot of work to work on no funding. So basically, how the climate library came about in exactly like a minute. We have been working in Delhi for a while. Individually, our teammates have been working more than 4 or 5 years in the Delhi space. So we did have a lot of networks in research organizations and stuff. So we reached out to them with specific asks to our friends. So for example, my colleague emailed Sunita Narayan, who's actually really accessible and helpful. She sent us 60-70 books from CSE. We reached out to Henrik Boll Foundation, which is a German foundation. They gave us like 80-90 books. We also sort of figured out a space which was let out to us for free 3 days in a week, which is a very good win in Delhi, trust me. So that is how we started the library. Now we have people sort of emailing us, texting us on their own that, we want to, sort of give more books to your library and stuff. We had a whole call to action, all of that. But the reason it was successful was because we had pre-existing networks in Delhi, right? A very strong network. So now what we are trying to do is for the next 3 years, we are figuring out rural and urban spaces where we want to open these libraries. So the scale will be very different in say rural areas and in metropolitan. So in Delhi, we have 350 books right now. We are getting about 80 more by the end of this year. So I actually wanted to ask you if there are people here or NGOs here who have a space, if you have a space where you want to build a library, definitely reach out to me. You can find me around. So if you have a space. Second is, even if you don't have a space, you have an idea that somebody else would be interested in building a climate library. Around you, you have networks like that. That is also doable. Third is, if you are from a research organization or you work with the university and you want, you feel like you can mobilize some books at least up to say like 50, 100, something like that, we can work with that. If you have community contacts in sort of rural spaces, because we don't have that kind of a footprint, that also works. So basically, any proposal related to a climate library, I'm very, very open to that. And yeah, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We had some individuals interesting stories yesterday. I hope we